afternoon, but for the time being, this is the game we're going to concentrate on now, and we'll do it with Neil Folds, and first up, Dave Hendon.
Thank you. I guess the question is, can this great run that Ronnie O'Sullivan's been on continue, or does something have to give? Could be a very busy day for him. If he wins this match, he plays again tonight.
The first frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Not really broken sweat yet this week. 2-4-1 wins over Michael Georgiou and Robert Milkins. He's made 3 centuries. He's looked great, but as I say, he's played a lot of snooker the last few weeks. Will it catch up with him at some point this week? Li Hang certainly hopes so. He's having a great season, up to 36 in the world. And he's also won 4-1 in both rounds against Sean O'Sullivan, no relation, and Jamie Curtis Barrett. Still best of 7. The winner plays Michael White or Karen Wilson. Li Hang here we saw in the semi-finals of the China Championship in Guangzhou in August, where he lost 6-5 to the eventual winner Luca Brissell, and then quarterfinals in the World Open in Yushan. Been getting a lot of good results. He's earned £87,500 this season. He's having a great year, really is. So there's every reason to be confident.
Well, that was obviously a mistake. I'm guessing, probably hit that a bit too thick because he'd probably try to slide the other side of hitting the blue. Yes, as Dave was saying, there's no question that Li Hang is much improved this season, and we can't assume this is to be a Sullivan almost walkover match. I don't think it's anything like that. It's a question of how he starts. That if Ronnie gets motoring, of course, he's very difficult to beat for anybody.
He's not the tallest player on the circuit, Li Hang. He's really stretching here, even with a little extension.
One.
It's very compact cue action. There's nothing too extravagant about it. He hasn't got a long backswing, but he punches through the ball, always accelerating. Black somehow goes through all those reds. It's actually a very good chance. If he can clear the reds to the right of the black away, then he could be away here.
8.
And he's on the bottom one, so that's handy.
There's only one previous meeting to go on, but that was 3 years ago. O'Sullivan won 6-1 in the International Championship, but as I say, Li Hang much more confident this season. He's made a breakthrough, getting to a big semi-final.
16. $17.
Well, if you're not seeing much of him play, although he has played a few TV matches, you're already seeing
24.
that he is a player that doesn't let the cue ball travel too far. You know, he's all about the position. And again, there, not
25.
using cushions, just a nice touch player. And when it's all working, can keep somebody in their seat for a long time.
Yeah, Ronnie in his chair, looking a little bit tired, which is maybe inevitable after all the snooker has been playing.
32.
I know that he didn't get up for his normal morning run, although the weather, in fairness, isn't great in this part of the world at the moment.
Well, he's going to have to get out of his chair now after that.
He hung 32.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say that if Ronnie wouldn't be human if he wasn't starting to feel the effects of all the snooker he's played for 6 weeks. This was overcut. And even though they're going in off the jaw, not that far off the jaw. Should be remembered, it's not only that Ronnie's been playing,
1.
and not only Ronnie, but obviously other players, but matches in succession, but also in 2 separate visits to China and back, and with hardly a day off in between. So he's probably looking forward to a little Christmas break, but in the meantime, there's
8.
this tournament and also some qualifiers for the German Masters.
9.
Nice thinking to play the plant, to develop one red and leave it over the pocket. I wonder if he'll knock other reds out here. He could run through and break the other 2 reds up with the red over the pocket as well. You do leave yourself open, though, to what's happened. The red is covered.
16.
That's always the pitfall of that shot. You don't really know where the cue ball is going to finish playing the cannon. Let's pressurise his next shot, all right. This is very difficult now. Playing it, I think, to the middle pocket. No, and the end. They all come alike.
17.
That's a great shot to recover with that red over the pocket. You had to go in.
What a good shot. I thought it was easier to the middle, I have to say, but the way Ronnie's been playing, he's not lacking in confidence.
$22.
And of course, he would love to just keep on winning, as whether
23.
he's got this high on his list of priorities this week. There's no feeling like winning, and while you're in the winning habit, you have to take advantage of it. Because every snooker player, every sportsman has some lean days when you can't buy a win. Even O'Sullivan's had that. So he has to
28.
make hay while the sun shines. Not that there's been a lot of sun up here
29.
in Glasgow, I have to say, the last few days.
No, but the sun well and truly shining on Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's won 3 ranking titles
36.
already this season, with plenty more to come, including this one. The Masters just round the corner next month, and of course he'll be recharged after the Christmas break, looking to win that for an 8th time at Ali Pali.
$42. $43.
And he's still got that red over the hole. That backup red's been there for about 5 reds and colours. And this time he will use it up.
48.
He'll need one of the 2 remaining reds that are near a cushion. Not that they're by any means impossible
49.
to pot. He'll play up on the open red, and then it'll be one of the other 2 with the colour for the frame.
$56. 57.
Yeah, he just discovers that it'll give him a lead of 30 points in potting this blue, so red, high-value colour, like I say. Oh, just a lovely touch. Lovely touch. It's a little straight, but he's played it well.
$63.
Now, just to finish the job off, pot this black. Snookers will be required. What a great start. Whether he's tired or not, he was half slumped in his chair and he came out and
70.
it's made the most beautiful break.
Yeah, excellent. There was one key shot early on to the yellow pocket. That one stays out, so
Ronnie
just one snooker needed,
70.
but an excellent 70 from Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, didn't get a clap, which is that must be hard to please. There's a decent crowd in, and that was a magnificent break. I thought the red was in as well at the end. It seemed to rattle quite seriously in the jaws. The frame's definitely not over where the balls are. In behind the pinks are possible here.
That was a big chance, I think, to get a snooker, and he hasn't got one. And that's the difference. He didn't get O'Sullivan in a snooker. O'Sullivan came very close to getting in behind the pink there.
Yeah, I think he can get to it, but it's very unpromising for getting a snooker back. Made a good effort. I think there's room to get through this to this red from here. Play with just a touch of right-hand side, drifted around the brown. Get the feeling it's another swerve required here.
5.
Well, that is obviously very unlucky.
Lee Hang 4.
It's one of these shots, you can't have any control over the cue ball. All you can do is try and hit the object ball. Hope not to go in off, but he's got a pot of black with this red. Pink will only tie the frame, and it's hard to pot it and hold for either colour. It's going to be a long drag shot. Well, it was hard. It really was a tough shot, Dave.
No, it was the danger, obviously, as you say, needing to hold for black. The danger is he misses the pot, and he's done the frame now. I think he is a dangerous opponent, Lee Hang, but he did have a good chance early on in this frame, broke down, and O'Sullivan made that excellent 70. So he's got to play his best stuff to stand a chance of winning today.
$7.
Yes, it's like anything else, Dave. You already know how good Ronnie O'Sullivan is, because no doubt Lee Hang has seen enough of him recently on the television without playing him. But he's already received an immediate reminder, having watched the way that he made that 70 break.
Yeah, and I'm sure the players right now are thinking, when they draw O'Sullivan, is this going to be the day when his game sort of falls away? Well, it hasn't so far in this match.
16.
Who's to say where this golden run he's on will end?
$21. 27 of the frame. Ronnie
So
O'Sullivan.
it's the 70 break. A really nice break it was as well, that did all the damage after Lee Hang himself broke down. Ronnie O'Sullivan off and running once again, leading here in Glasgow by 1 frame to 0.
Thank you, the second frame. Lee Hang to break.
Thursday here at the Emirates Arena, Dapperbet Scottish Open continues. We're into the last 32 round. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads Lee Hang 1-0. Coming up after this match, it's John Higgins against Gerald Green. I know one thing, Ronnie's well fed, because he had a curry last night on the recommendation of our own Joe Johnson, which is a bit like going on holiday recommended by Judith Chalmers. Because if one thing Joe knows, apart from snooker, it's his Indian food. Well, not his best shot. He was in a little bit of bother. He's offered up a chance for Lee Hang.
They'd be probably very disappointed to miss that, because that is the kind of shot that these guys practice regularly, dead straight, mid-range, the long shot. That's a real test of your cueing, and he hit it, as you saw, to the right jaw, hit it straight on. You've always got to be a little bit watchful on these shots. If he's playing off the bunch, he doesn't want to hit them thick and push reds into play. Thin contact is usually what a player will want. Well, there's the problem, you see. You hit them too hard and the red goes over a pocket. That's, I think, a bad mistake. These tables are so quick, there's usually something will just drift out from the bunch.
One. Eight.
Not an easy shot, this, from the side rail. They all seem to be coming alike, though. Easy or difficult, even that shot, he stroked it.
Nine.
It's a great pot. I mean, a bit fortunate to be on it.
Yeah, but not fortunate to be perfectly behind the blue. So he's getting the odd nudge, but players
14.
that play well always do.
15.
And there is a red, bottom red, that goes to the right corner. So I don't see him going into the bunch here at all. but finishing low, the bunch will be split here. It's a question of whether he plays with topspin, power through them, or screw back off the bunch.
$23.
Finished nowhere. Bit more pace, he'd have been beautifully on the pink. Now, if he's going to keep this break alive, the next shot will also be very good. He could just cue the green without being hampered. Still had to get it, though.
26. $27.
It's sort of like he's on autopilot, and that's, I mean that as a compliment. I know it doesn't sound like it, but he just plays so well.
Oh, this is a very difficult shot to get the Reds open from here. And for once, it hasn't worked out. Again, there might be a red available, actually. I don't know if he's looked at the red at the top of the bunch. Well, he's certainly having a look now. It's a tough fresh shot, this. And he's going into other reds. So there's danger attached to it.
Well, this is a situation where if Lee Hang is to have any chance today, he's really got to make the most of it. O'Sullivan's opened the reds with this last shot. He's left him in. It's up to Lee now to do something here.
1.
He knows it's a good chance. But he was going well in the first frame, broke down on 32, Mr. Red.
And that wasn't a clean pot, as I'm sure you noticed, but he is
8.
on a red, but I don't think he played it like this. He's just got to scramble away and get his rhythm back. Stay at the table.
$9. $16.
Kevin Dabrowski is the referee, just clearing the cue ball here. One of a growing army of officials with so many tournaments, so many matches to be taken charge of.
$17. $23. $24.
Little cannon here. Not worked out. Trying to work out which red he actually tried to hit, but it certainly wasn't. Well, it wasn't that one. It was probably the left hand two, the bottom one of the left couple of reds. Hitting that full ball would have left him on a number of options. Now, this is a difficult one. to keep the break going. He's very close to it, so he plays safe. Don't blame him.
Lee Hang, 31.
Got himself back into the frame, but you get the feeling when you play Ronnie O'Sullivan, you have to really punish and win the frame with the one chance, if possible.
Well, he was staring at that with some bewilderment, and he's offered up another chance. Yeah, he got close to it, but I guess it could have been easier for Lee Hang, particularly as he's just broken down.
It was a rather lethargic shot from O'Sullivan, wasn't it? Which left this chance, not sure. I'm guessing he went for the pot, Ronnie, but he didn't half miss it by a long way. And this red to the middle is quite a narrow angle. Not an easy starter. If he does try it, might play safe. I can totally understand that. If you're right behind the red to the middle, it's easier, but not from where he was.
Yeah, going back to the shot Ronnie played, I don't think he is 100% today, but the point is, it doesn't have to be to win this match. So much of it is on his opponent. O'Sullivan was saying in our studio yesterday he didn't feel really people have been playing well against him. I think some of them have been, actually. I thought Sonny Akani played really well in the UK Championship. He's never one to really big himself up, Ronnie, in terms of his performance. But in general, his form, really since that English Open that he won in fine style in Barnsley, has been excellent. He's had the odd dip, which has been in part due to the travelling and the tiredness we saw in Belfast, losing to Elliot Slessor. Well, that's a good pot from Lee Hang.
1.
And he's finished on the cushion.
Problem is, when you play those 2-in-1 shots and you get the pot, you don't really want the cue ball to be up against the cushion, which he'd been happy with had he missed it. But that's good. That's very well played, actually.
1.
And I think Ronnie's quite hard up in behind this yellow, which means Lee Hang has played a good shot there, and the snooker is in. If you've got to play at any point to hit the baulk cushion on these shots, it means you're in trouble, because it's a multiple cushion escape. If you can get to a side cushion on your way down without going near the baulk cushion, it's not so bad. You're not even looking towards the reds in his eye line when he plays the shot from here. It's going to be a tough escape.
Foul and a miss. Lee Hang,
Well, it couldn't
4.
have gone much worse from O'Sullivan's point of view.
Got no idea what he played.
Well, another chance, and surely he's got to take this one.
1. Eight. Nine.
Still a bit of work on, because obviously Just 18 points is a fairly slender lead.
— 17.
Could have done with being a little bit closer to the black as well to get position. Needs both of these reds. He might have the angle here actually to pop
24.
one red and remove the other one. It will not guarantee position though, so that's why he may decide not to. But it's a natural to move the other red. That's
24.
definitely what he tried. It's gone around the back of it. Could have been worse.
Well, it's taken a few
29.
openings, but it looks like Li Hang's going to win this frame now. He's been helped by a couple of below par shots from his opponent.
30. $37. 39. 42. 46.
'Ronnie O'Sullivan
51.
has won his last 9 matches in ranking events. The run does have to end somewhere. Will it be here this afternoon? Li Hang needed a few opportunities there, let's be honest, to win that frame, but he has won it. He may settle now that he's on the scoreboard. And we're all square here in Glasgow on day 4 of the Scottish Open. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan 1, Li Hang 1. Wakey, wakey, Ronnie. We're ready to start the next frame.
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
It's 1-1. He's certainly not 100%, but as I said earlier, it doesn't have to be. But if you're an O'Sullivan fan, a couple of bad signs in that last frame. In the end, he stuck Li Hang right in from getting out the snooker, didn't get close to any red, really. Thing is, when you're tired, you can't just snap out of it. It doesn't work like that. Oh, he thought that was in. He was walking after it.
It's very unlucky, isn't he, to leave it? It's the kind of shot, with the cue ball coming down that bottom left corner, it's very hard to see a way that this could happen. Oh, that's absolutely perfect if he wants to go into the bunch. He really couldn't have put the ball better with his hand. If he hits the pink full on here, the red should go everywhere. Well, they have gone everywhere, but none of particularly easy to pot. It's one of those shots where even someone as good as O'Sullivan could have no idea where the balls would finish. And this next shot, if he plays a bold colour, is tough. He might be able to lay him behind the blue, but I don't think he's thinking along those lines. If this goes in, he's back in amongst them. Oh, what a great shot. Made to look simple.
Yeah, and he's made his mind to attack. If he is
10.
feeling tired, which he seems to be, then he doesn't want to get dragged into scrappy frames and long exchanges. He wants to keep the game moving. That is going to mean taking some on that are going to be tough, but as you say, he's making those sort of shots look easy. So it could be in this sort of situation with the balls open, he'll feel fine. It's just when frames get a bit fragmented that you might see the tiredness set in.
Yeah, I mean, it can only be tiredness because, like we're seeing, even in amongst, you know, one or two signs that he's weary, his game, as we know, is fully there. And the interesting point I thought he made about that was he spoke about laying the foundations to all of this, which started way before his good run in winning in Barnsley when it all started.
18.
Playing during the summer, building a game that was going to take him right through until Christmas by practicing all the shots he needed to practice, all the hours. And since then, it's all been all about matches. And sometimes when you play match after match, it's a little difficult to work on your game. But I suppose if you've done the work in the first place, that helps.
Yeah, and I think also he mentally committed himself. He said, right, I'm going to play this block of snooker, these 3 months solid. And he prepared himself for that. As you say, not just his game, but also in his mind. And we've seen the
25.
two in concert to great effect.
$31. 32.
I think some players are a little more ad hoc. They'll think, I'll play this tournament, I won't play that tournament. But O'Sullivan, as I say, just committed himself. These 3 months, it's going to be snooker, snooker, snooker. And so far it's been title, 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 3 of them.
$36. 37.
Still, the colours
43.
are not easy to get on. Obviously, the pink on the blue spot is all he's got right now. And, of course, the bulk colours. And he's still needing to do a little bit more work. I guess
44.
Lee Hang has got to worry about the black being safe and the blue being safe more than Ronnie because he's a few behind.
$47. 48. 54.
Well, 75 on, but depending on when Ronnie misses as to whether that'll be possible for Lee. That's a good shot. He's potted it and
55.
finished just top side. And again, pink will go back on the blue spot. The red still occupying the spot. Not really plain sailing this break, but very well constructed, given that
61.
his cue ball's never really been in supreme control. I have to say, Lee Hang was very unlucky
62.
to stick the opening red. Play that shot 50 times. You wouldn't stick it very many It's pretty devastating in amongst the balls right now.
68. $69.
So we've seen a decent level of form from both players, actually, in the 3 frames. Must never take Ronnie O'Sullivan for granted, though, as a player, because what we watch
75.
day in, day out is quite breathtaking snooker. You won't be playing this game forever, but you do well to see anyone
76.
who plays better snooker and more of a delight to watch. He's the kind of guy that will have people in the practice room watching the screen, other players, watching how he does it.
82.
Trying to bring this red out, which he's done. He said on commentary
83.
last night, he was in the box, that the 1,000 centuries does motivate him. He's on 919 for his career at the moment. Well, hasn't finished well. If he's going to make 920.
89.
Didn't matter.
Yes, and the key to this is that he won't actually require the blue for the century. Even that shot, look how well he's played that.
94.
I have to say, as centuries go, this is as good as any. He's not
96.
taken the black once in this break. For many periods of it, long periods, the pink on the blue spot was the only big scoring
99.
colour. And it seems not very long ago we celebrated his 900th, and as you say, this is 920. It's all come very quickly, isn't it?
Well, he looked half asleep between frames, but he's joined the Wide Awake Club to make a dashing century. The break ends at 103. Took just over 8 minutes to compile. And a little smile there from Lee Hang. He's seen something very special there. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads here in Glasgow by 2 frames to 1. I wonder what he's dreaming of there. Maybe another trophy at the end of the week. This one bears the name of Stephen Hendry. A man whose records Ronnie O'Sullivan has in his sights. He's already beaten some of them. It's 5 off his total ranking title victories of 36. Of course, the big one is the World Championship. O'Sullivan 2 behind Hendry on that.
Bit of trouble here. The red on the right cushion is making it difficult to get up and down on the safety. So the containing shot is all he had. That was obviously a weak shot. Here's some enthusiasts watching the great man.
Good grief. Well, if he's got well, he hasn't got away with it because they're red to the right corner.
It's a thin red, isn't it, that one you mentioned, Dave? It's not an easy one to control. This is not an easy way of starting a break to the point where you're not even going for it. Must admit, like you, I thought the red was available to him.
Yeah, obviously he's right behind it. He may have just felt it was too thin with the white going who knows where. Although he's not turned much down today.
Well, it's not an easy shot either with balls necessarily in the way. That's nicely played. That's a good safety shot. Ronnie taps the table. Now he's got the similar problem. It's the reds on the right of the table who are making life difficult for getting the safety shot in. There's usually a shot of some kind, but here, not so easy to work out. Just the container again. Sometimes it means you're in trouble the next shot, but for now it's just bought him a little bit of time.
There's the safety stats, O'Sullivan just edging it. But on pot success, he's clearly edging it. 97% is excellent.
That's actually a good shot. He's just unlucky this time. Normally you'd say, well, hitting the jaws of the middle pocket is never unlucky, but he had hardly any other routes back to bulk but that way, hoping to miss the jaw. And for a right-hander, he's given Lee Hang a chance. Got to stay with him the best he can and win this frame. 3-1 down is the way that Ronnie O'Sullivan looks to be playing. It's hard to see him not winning one of the remaining three possible if he did get this frame on the board. So now is the time for Lee Hang. Again, not an easy table though.
Five.
Well, just caught the blue there.
Six.
It's even more difficult now. The red's chipped itself over towards the black, so now high value colours out of the game. Good shot though. You see what he can do with reds and blues.
11. Twelve. $17. 18.
You get the feeling there is no long-term plan here except for just chipping away with reds and blues or bulk
24.
colours, seeing how many lead he can get. This time, I'm afraid, he's not perfectly on the blue. Might have to use a lot of pace on this to get around the table. He gets a clap. I'm not sure if he played on this red, but it's
29.
absolutely fine for a right-hander.
$30.
You'd think that maybe a gentle cannon into the reds might be a good idea here. Just to hold the cue ball and maybe push one or two more into play. I think he certainly didn't play the cannon. He's played on the two
35.
reds just to miss the main bunch. But I think we're seeing what a nice touch player he is. Just a really gentle striking. He doesn't hit the balls hard, and he absolutely has to. And it was a difficult table to score, especially when he put the black safe, but he's done well.
$41. $42.
Well, this time he does play that cannon, and he plays it very nicely.
47. $48. $53.
Definitely not part of the plan. Certainly not to get the black out as well with his lead. That might come in Ronnie's favour if he does get back in. I think now's the time to slip in a very good safety shot. Hold on to your lead.
Lee Hang, 53.
Yeah, it's a good break, that 53, without pink or black.
Yes, a bit of pressure back on Lee Hang, though, because of that last safety shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. that's good. More than happy with that outcome. Ronnie has got a red to go at, but it's tough. What a shot. What a shot. Li Hang's safety shot was very acceptable, but goodness me, he stroked that in. He really is hitting the ball like a dream. I know he seems a little weary, but it is not showing in his game. Well, this time, he does miss one. That's one of the first quite easy ones in the match. After the red, I'm a little surprised.
One.
So this red is the ball that should make it 2 each. On another day, he could have lost this frame to a good O'Sullivan clearance. But Ronnie missed that blue. But it was a good 53 that Li Hang made. As I say, neither pink nor black available throughout the break.
Ten. $11.
Well, that might well be the end of it, but he would be absolutely guaranteed that Ronnie Sullivan will concede this frame when this break ends. And things are getting quite interesting now at 2-all.
Yeah, he's played a good frame there as Li Hang. So once again, all square, Ronnie O'Sullivan rubbing his eyes. He's in a bit of a battle here this afternoon. Level with Li Hang at 2 frames all.
Frame number 5. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
That picture tells its own story. Ronnie O'Sullivan clearly has hit something of a wall, but he's still involved in the match here. It's 2-2. He's played well in the frames he's won. He's had a century after all, 103 in frame 3. As we start frame 5.
He's found his range on that safety shot. And this is, if he does go for this, it's very difficult. Could play the containing up and down, but the pot, I suppose, it might tempt him. What a great shot. What a great shot at that speed. And he leaves the red.
One.
That's to the right of the black. Had he missed it, this is a very fine shot. It was the pace, or the lack of pace, that made it even better. Holding for the black, terrific.
Eight. Nine. Fourteen. Fifteen. 20. 21.
Well, he's playing with a lot of composure, Lee Hang, and we know that he's had some good results. So make it 19 matches that he's won this season in various tournaments, which is bringing him up towards his highest ever ranking, which, of course, he has achieved this season. And you can see why he's been winning, because he's got a really good tempo, seemingly a good temperament as well.
26.
Not much is phasing him here. Didn't quite hit the pink as flush as he would want. The reds would have spread even better. He looks still to be on that one to the left corner, though. No, maybe not. Safety shot only. So he was very disappointed to have not finished on a red. They spread okay. Like I say, it wasn't one of his best shots, though. Here's the pink full on. The reds go even further across the table. Play someone like O'Sullivan, I guess it's fine margins between winning and losing. And you have to really punish, really score heavily when the chance does come. Lee Hang walks to the table with not a particularly nice shot, so close to the yellow. I think that the right-hand red that he may be able to get to, he will have centre ball striking, but it's the only one. And that pot is dead straight, so this is a real test of cueing. I was worried that he might just, pushing through, foul the yellow ball with the cue. That's a tremendous shot. Two long reds this frame, both out of the top drawer.
And unlike the last frame, he does have black and pink freely available here. He's already 34 in front, so this is Another good chance for Lee Hang, who's sensing that O'Sullivan is tired and struggling a bit.
Yeah, well, he is struggling a bit. You're right. I mean, he hasn't played badly. 96% pot success for O'Sullivan. It's just that his demeanour suggests that he's a little bit weary rather than his performance on the table. And, of course, Lee Hang, I noticed at the end of the last frame when we were waiting for the restart, he was looking across at him. You could see that Ronnie was a little
16.
slumped in his chair, eyes half open. I suppose it all gives your opponent that hope that you can
17.
win.
$23. $24. $30. $31.
Yes, well, it looks that there is one red that from just about where the pink is now will pot. It's the bottom two. It's the right one of those. So just in the middle of the table, that one will definitely go. And he needs a colour of anything, just about any colour with this. Certainly, he won't be taking a yellow or green. Anything else is absolutely fine. It'll mean that he's in front. And if he does get into a 3-2 lead, he'll have earned it and deserved it.
$38.
Now what? Do you play the blue or maybe push a ball onto a cushion? If pots this blue and the way he's been potting, you wouldn't bet against him. Ronnie will need snookers. Nowhere near. Still some hope here for O'Sullivan.
Lee Hang, 38.
Yeah, didn't get too close to the blue. 64 in it, 67 available. Ooh, but he's missed that one. Ooh, that was a great chance to win the frame.
Well, if he wins his frame, you do wonder that if he's having a little bit of a problem getting over the line this frame, what's it going to be like for the match? Because really, he should have potted this. Might still be a few more mental barriers to cross if he can get 3-2 up and be on the brink.
One.
But he's not even 3-2 up yet.
$8.
Yes, he needs, once again, high-value colours. This has got to be played well, and it has been played well. That's very, very good.
9.
And he needs to stay around the black spot, I think, because with that red up the table, he probably will need to play a lower colour. And that was a kick. And apparently Ronnie doesn't get kicks, they say, but that was certainly one of those.
16.
Jumped a lot. means he's not on the red over the pocket.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 16.
Well, once again, it's one red required to get to the snooker's required stage. This time it's in. Well, the kick didn't help there, clearly.
1.
So Li Hang is going to be a frame from completing what for him would be a huge win here over the man of the moment, the man in form, Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's played well here today. A couple of signs in this frame, just struggling to get over the line. We'll see how he feels in the frame he needs to win the match.
7.
The fact that it would be such a big win, I guess, intensifies the pressure on him. What it would mean to him to beat O'Sullivan, particularly the way Ronnie's
7.
playing at the moment. So O'Sullivan has got to try and regroup here. He's led twice, but for the first time in the afternoon he's trailing, and Li Hang is a frame away from a place in the last 16, leading by 3 frames to 2. Well, as you can see on table 2, it's a very interesting match between young Yang Bingtao, still just 17, of course runner-up in the Northern Ireland Open, and Stephen Maguire, Glasgow's own. It's 2-2. And Yan at the table, as you can see, in frame 5. Not much to choose between them in that frame.
12.
No, very interesting match, like you say. And I was saying earlier on about it that the bookmakers actually made Yan Bingtao favourite. So that's how things would have changed, because until recently there's no way he would have started favourite against Stephen Maguire anywhere in the world, never mind in Glasgow, where Maguire is from. So there is a changing of the tide. And with Bingtao, of course, he nearly became the youngest tournament winner, beating this man. But in the previous frame, this definitely kicked, and he stopped the cue ball from getting correctly around the table onto the next red. He doesn't get many, O'Sullivan, but he's had one there.
Yeah, it's worth saying Yan Bingtao can still become the youngest ranking event winner. It still applies for a couple of months, actually, until early February. So we shall see how he gets on there. It's on the Eurosport player against Maguire. We're just waiting for Li Hang, who's a frame away from what would, for him would be a really morale-boosting victory against, as I say, O'Sullivan, the man of the moment.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ronnie looks a little weary, and we understand that. And anyone would, I think, playing the snooker he's played. Generally speaking, he's played well. But
as has this man, John Higgins, another talented 42-year-old who's going to be playing Gerard Green in the next live match after the conclusion of the one we're watching now. So that's coming up after this one.
yeah, Higgins was stunning yesterday, wasn't he?
So Li Hang leads Ronnie O'Sullivan for the first time in the match. It's 3-2, and if he wins this one, he's into the last 16, and O'Sullivan, he's out. Another player struggling, Ding Junhui, China's number 1, 3-1 down to Rory McLeod on one of the outside tables. And in terms of the winner of this match, it's either Michael White or Kyron Wilson. That's 3-1 to White at the moment.
Well, the angle he was coming across that red
Foul. Miss.
meant that it was always going to have to be a very thin pot, or thin snick, rather, to make contact, I should say. What does he do? Does he play the long red? He's been knocking them in. Or does he have it back? It had to be very thin, just taking the edge of that red, but he actually missed it by a good couple of millimetres. And he's taking this on. Doesn't have to. I'm guessing that he thought that Ronnie would make a better fist of the safety shot second time around. So it will be interesting to see if he can finish this match off if the chance comes, because it's a big deal for someone like Lee Hang to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan. And it's one thing taking him close and saying, getting a pat on the back, saying, well, you nearly beat him, but actually beating him is quite something else. Well, again, he's overhit there, and he's given a tempter, and we've seen how Lee Hang pots at range.
One.
Well, I'll tell you what, not only was it a good pot, but that cue ball was very well played up there on the black. You can see all the reds that could have been in the way.
Eight. Nine.
Well, if he were to win, it certainly wouldn't be a one-off. He's having a good season. Really come to life, this campaign. In Guangzhou, when he got to the semi-final of the China Championship, he beat Joe Swale, Neil Robertson, Michael White, Matthew Stevens and Mark
16.
Williams. And only just lost out 6-5 in the last four to Luca Purcell. And in the World Open, where he got to the quarterfinals, he beat Robin Hull, Liang Wenbo, Ricky Walden and Peter Ebden. So he's been notching up the scouts, but this would top them all if he could beat O'Sullivan today.
Yes, and it's in his hands now, because this is a decent opportunity. He's not looked particularly like he's going to miss anything significant.
24.
And the table and conditions are so nice that it suits his really nice touch play. He can stay in control around the pink and black spot. He could win the frame and match here at this visit.
$25.
hit that one poorly.
Li Hang, 25.
As I said earlier, you know, I think he's generally a pretty good rest player. He got nowhere near it. He was stretching across, I think. Furious that he'd missed that. Now, will he get further chances in this frame? That's the question. That'll be the thing that's on his mind. This is now Ronnie O'Sullivan with a really good opportunity of his own, having been kept quiet for half an hour, something like that. Ronnie didn't really play a big part in the two previous frames, having led 2-1. So let's see what he's got left in the tank here. Well, the ball's could have gone anywhere, but I think he can thread through the reds to that one to the left corner.
6.
Oh, I don't need to tell anyone out there how dangerous he can be from a position like this with all the reds in the middle of the table. Li Hang didn't score enough from his chance. Seems to be a very good player when he's right in amongst them, but when he does lose position, Li Hang, he
8.
isn't quite the same. He's all about control.
9.
Likelihood of playing a cannon here. And as ever, played to perfection.
16. 17.
Well, he's been in such a determined mood all season, and if anyone's going to get him to pull himself together, it's going to be the imminent prospect of defeat, I guess. Could have been out there when Li Hang got in with that good long red. It was a chance for sure.
24.
Might yet be the best chance he has to win this match.
25.
Yeah, that's okay as well. I know that he's bridging a little bit awkwardly,
32.
but he's right behind the red.
33.
Probably still thinking about not only the missed green, but how he ended up in that position in the first place. Because it was a couple of shots before where the brakes started to go wrong.
40. 41. 40.
He flicked a red on the way through that cannon. I don't think that was quite how he meant it. But it won't matter. It was hard to see him not being on one.
49.
Check the scores, knows that these two reds in the middle of the table will be sufficient. He did mention yesterday when he came in, having constructed a win with a pot success of 97%, that he was not happy with his cue ball control, and there was
57.
uncharacteristic error which went unpunished. But even if he isn't happy with his game, as Dave said earlier on, even at 90%,
64.
he's good enough to beat most players.
Yeah, the point is
65.
you've got to beat him. Li Hang had a chance there. Now, He needs a snooker here. He's on the green.
Yes, the important thing, Dave, was that the red went in, wasn't it?
Decided to play the snooker instead.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
So, yeah, so
60.
Lee Hang needs a snooker, and he's in one. It's a good effort, that, from O'Sullivan, 65. Well, another kick for O'Sullivan. Had one in the last frame, which was a lot more costly on that black. You've got to be careful here. It's only one snooker required. Well, was pretty careful. He's potted it. So it sets up a decider. Lee Hang had a great chance in this frame. Will he get as good a chance in the last? We will find out shortly. Ronnie O'Sullivan
8.
pulled himself together sufficiently for a good 65 in this one.
10. 13. 17. 22. 28.
So despite battling weariness, Ronnie O'Sullivan is still playing some good stuff in this match, as he has done in this frame. And it means we have one more to decide it. Lee Hang had a great chance. O'Sullivan came back with that 65. So we're level, 3 frames all. It's 3-3. It's all on this frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan won the 6th. There's the customary handshake that you see before deciders. Hard to predict, really. O'Sullivan came good when he had to there with that 65 break. Lee Hang otherwise has played well, but it seems if a break goes slightly wrong and he's left with a tough ball, they haven't really been going in.
Talking of breaks going slightly wrong, and that break-off shot was not one of Ronnie's best. He threw the cue ball very wide. Hit the first red too thick, and he rather anxiously looked at the table. He was given a chance. I'm amazed, really. I mean, when I said it was a chance, the game surely has not become so easy that is an odds-on chance. But he crunched it in. It was difficult. There was a long way between the two balls. I guess his colour will be difficult as well. He never went in cleanly. He's playing the blue, trying to run round the table from the blue to the next red.
Six.
Now, obviously, this red passes the blue, I'm guessing, otherwise he wouldn't have played the shot he did. The old cliche, but it is true, to get in first
7.
and give yourself a chance, but that has gone wrong. I just think it wasn't so easy to hold and stay this side of the bog line, and maybe it looked. But I tell you what, he's sizing up this long blue, and this is the biggest shot of the match if he plays it. He's changed his mind. While you're watching the replay, he was
Lee Hang 7.
getting himself prepared to take on a very big shot, but he just thought better of it. It's been a good match, a really enjoyable match to watch. Both players have played well. Ronnie's played very decent, 95% pot success, despite looking a little bit as if, The last few weeks are catching up with him physically, but his game is still there.
High quality safety overall as well. And deciders often comes down purely to nerve, which is why O'Sullivan would have to start this frame favourite. Just got there.
Golden touch. And I guess just getting there is what you want on those, so you don't stick any reds, push any reds out into open play.
Yeah, it was touch and go, wasn't it? It just shows you, you know, these are quick tables, because at one stage you think that's never going to reach, but it did.
I must admit, I didn't think it was going to reach. It's a few good shots here from Lee. He's put Ronnie in trouble to the point where he can see a red again, but still plays as if snookered. This is definitely hard enough. It's another terrific shot. What a battle this is turning into. Well, if it's touching,
Ball.
which it seems to be, Ronnie has possibly regained the advantage here because he can put Lee in trouble now, playing away from the red.
It's just gone one each between Peter Ebdon and Elliot Slessor. Now, that started at the same time as this match, an hour and 50 minutes ago, so it's been, well, self-evidently slow going. Oh, there's a red going towards the pocket. This is not good for Lee Hang.
Yes, does he play to drag it in onto the black, is the question. That's what he's tried. He stayed down on it because he knew he'd hit it a little thick. So he's not perfectly on the black. If he goes into the bunch, you've always got to just watch, of course, with the extra pace, that you don't miss the pot. That's terrific. Absolutely terrific shot.
8.
Just gets an extra bit of zip on these. The cue ball comes in and out of the pack of reds.
9.
What a chance.
$16.
Lee Hang was in first and
17.
dropped a red into the middle pocket and ended up laying on top of the green with the cue ball, so he just couldn't continue the break.
$24. $25.
Choosing not to play to get the reds open because, of course, he can get the cue ball where he likes. And here,
30.
he will definitely develop reds in playing this shot. Just push one out into the open.
31.
It's a great shot. Made to look very easy, but little screw around two cushions to get on the loose red there. Excellently played.
$39.
Been a fascinating match, just because Ronnie has, as we've been saying, given indication that you know, he's played a lot of snooker lately, but the remarkable part about it is it doesn't seem to be showing in his actual play. Usually you see a player loses his sharpness, but he's razor sharp. He's just a bit tired. Simple as that.
Well, we know that whoever comes through is going to play Michael White, who's just beaten Karen Wilson 4-1. That'll be this evening.
$45.
Yes, and of course, if this goes in, he should open the reds again, and that could be curtains. And the problem with the match with Michael White, if Ronnie does win here, is these results keep stacking up. He's already beaten somebody that he played last week in the UK, Michael Georgiou, and he beat Michael White comfortably in that tournament as well. So this is where one player can get the advantage over another by keep beating
51.
him. When they meet the next time, they don't fancy it, but we're not quite at that point yet. He's not over the line here.
Li Hang had a great chance in the last frame to win 4-2. Did say at the time, will he get a better one? He's hoping that something's going to go wrong here for Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's currently 50 in front, so needs a couple more reds.
$57. $58.
Well, he may be tired, but the way he's played of late, he's like he's in a waking dream.
65.
What a golden spell for Ronnie O'Sullivan. And it looks like he's going to be through to the last 16 this evening. Pulled himself together when it mattered. When he was 3-2 down, he made that good break, that 65, and he's made an excellent break to win it.
Yes, and I think that his opponent has shown us exactly why he's been winning a lot of matches here. I know he's lost, but, well, so have a lot of others against O'Sullivan recently. He's taken him very close, and he was in first, but he didn't score enough. And Ronnie O'Sullivan is deadly at the moment. In amongst them, he's break building, fantastic. He's done enough.
Yeah, a great break of 80 to win the match. No matter how he's feeling, someone has still got to beat him, and no one has so far this week, just as no one did at the UK Championship last week. Ronnie O'Sullivan through to the last 16 of the Scottish Open. Li Hang played an excellent match. He led 3-2. He had a chance for 4-2, but it's Ronnie O'Sullivan finally who comes through 4 frames to 3.